Hello my happy readers, it's Shedtime Stories with me, Issy. Are you ready to share a new story? Well, I have chosen one that is so full of love. The title is Can You Feel My Love, Molly? If you have this book at home, you can read along with me. The author, the person who has written this story, is Simpson-Stober. Now we're going to meet Molly and she is going to learn just what unconditional love is. Shall we read and find out what happens? Can you feel my love, Molly? Molly looked at her mummy and smiled. Mummy smiled back and said, I love you, Molly. How do you love me, Mummy? Molly asked. Just like that, Mummy replied proudly. Mummy looked at Molly and asked her, Molly, when I smile at you, how does that make you feel? Molly replied, warm inside. It makes me smile inside. That's me loving you, Molly, Mummy said proudly. When I cuddle you, how does that make you feel? Mummy asked Molly. Warm inside. It makes me all cuddly inside. That's me loving you, Molly, Mummy said proudly. When I kiss you goodnight, how does that make you feel, Molly? Warm inside, Mummy. It makes me feel tingly inside. That's me loving you, Molly, Mummy said proudly. When I tell you off and try to teach you right from wrong, how does that make you feel? Molly looked down to her toes. Cold inside, Mummy. It makes me wish I felt warm inside. Molly answered sadly. Do you know what, Molly? That's me loving you too, Mummy answered proudly. How can that be you loving me if it makes me feel cold? Molly asked, not quite understanding how her mummy could still love her when she wasn't happy with her. Because I love all of you, Mummy said proudly. Think about it, Molly. Don't we always say sorry afterwards? How does that make you feel? Molly cuddled into her mummy. Warm inside again, Molly said happily. That makes me feel really warm again, especially after feeling cold. That's me really loving you hard, Molly, Mummy said proudly. Mummy, what does it feel like when you don't love me? I don't know, Mummy said. I can't feel that. Why not? Molly asked, surprised at Mummy's answer. Because you are my Molly, and I love you unconditionally. I love all of you, Molly, all of the good bits and all of the bits that are trying to be good, but perhaps they have lost their way a little bit. Mummy stopped twirling Molly and looked at her and asked, How does that make you feel, Molly? That makes me feel loved, Mummy, Molly answered quietly. That's because you are loved, Molly. All of you, every little bit of you. What I can see and every little bit that I can't see. Mummy, does that mean you can love me even when I'm not here? Of course it does, Molly. How does that make you feel? Molly jumped out from behind the tree and ran into her mummy's arms. Special, she shouted, cuddling her mummy as tightly as she could. That's because you are special, Molly, Mummy said proudly. Mummy, what happened when I can't see you? When you are no longer here with me, how do we love each other then? The same way we do now, Molly, Mummy answered. We sit down and think of each other, smile and remember how it feels to be loved. How does that make you feel, Molly? Molly laid her head on Mummy's shoulder and said, warm inside. It makes me feel safe, Mummy, really safe. Will you ever stop loving me, Mummy? Never, ever, ever, ever will I stop loving you, Molly. How does that make you feel? Mummy asked with a big smile on her face. Warm inside. Molly looked at her mummy and smiled back. It makes me feel loved, Mummy, loved forever and ever and ever and ever. It makes me feel loved until forever and more, Molly said proudly. Oh, what a beautiful story that was! Molly most certainly learned all about unconditional love. Unconditional love is forever love, no matter what, and even when you're learning right from wrong. I hope you've enjoyed this Shed Time story, and if you want to, you can like, share, follow and subscribe to Shed Time Stories. Then you will be ready for the next book for us to share together. Bye-bye.